strong wind indicated by our velocities, sampling winds at 70 miles an hour just from radar. Now that's radar indicated. We haven't had any confirmed reports of those wind gusts, but these winds could get up that high, and we've seen that to our west. Now the tornado warning is set to expire. You said at 12:30.
Right, next 5 minutes.
12:30, so next 5 minutes. So we'll know within the next 5 minutes what they plan to do with this. It does look like the latest scan. It doesn't look quite as pronounced. We're still seeing that little notch though, so you still want to be hunkered down in your safe place. And what that means is going to be the lowest level, away from windows and doors, cover your head, all the stuff we preach when we have these tornado warnings. So radar indicated, there has been rotation indicated from our radar. That's why we have this tornado warning, and we are all under a tornado watch. This is not going to end after this. This could be extended or canceled. We're still going to have the chance of these little rotations popping up along this main line of storms, especially with the winds that we're seeing with this line of storms, and they are already starting to move into Baldwin County right along I-10 as well. So that's where we're seeing some of that strong wind. I would say I-10 and south is where it looks like our radar has some of the strongest velocities, but we are seeing that mixed in all throughout the area. So let's look at your radar so we can kind of see where we're already seeing some thunderstorms. Get you a better look at the entire area. If you're just now joining us and we haven't talked about your area, that's most likely because you haven't seen the storms move in yet, or you aren't seeing anything severe. So what we're really honing in on is that tornado warning and that severe thunderstorm warning. We have both. All of us under a tornado watch. That means conditions are ripe, and we are seeing that with our tornado warning in Mobile. But you can see we have started to have some rain in Escambia County, Century, getting a nice little soaker there. Look at how heavy that rain is too. So flooding threat also very prominent in these storms. So Mobile, look at that little notch there. So I'm going to pause this. What we're also seeing in this tornado warned cell that they have, it's sort of bowing out. So that could indicate some very strong winds just along that front line. So that's going to be moving into Bay Minette. Even if they cancel this tornado warning, very strong winds likely, I would say, in that little bowing segment that will be moving to the northeast. And it is moving quickly, so it will be on your doorstep very shortly. Looking at the latest scan, it looks like we did have another scan as I was talking. It doesn't look as prominent. I would say there's actually a couple little areas that we could see some weak rotation to the north of this tornado warning. So something we'll keep an eye on for you. But this is just how these storms can go. We can have these little notches form. We can have little areas of rotation. I'm circling a couple areas of that weak rotation that we're watching right now. One in that tornado warning box, another one out of that tornado warning box, and that is going to be moving, I would say, north of I-65 or right along I-65, the north side or the west side. So that's where the other little area that just sort of popped up, and we'll see if it stays with the latest scan. But about 2 minutes left on this tornado warning. I would say since they haven't extended it yet, they might not. They might be waiting for the latest scan to see.
You mentioned it earlier, Brooke. These type of situations, these type of lines that move in that are bowing, tornadoes are an inevitability with certain, at least rotation. It's almost inevitable with these type of setups as a line bows like this. Just in its very nature, this whole thing is kind of rotating. It's curved. You can see how it curves. That you can follow almost the green near Hurley, and then rolls from Dauphin Island to Fairhope, past Bay Minette. It wraps around to Citronelle, down to Hurley there in Mississippi. These type of bowing lines of storms, these squall lines, I mean, just like they naturally rotate. They have these little pockets as well within it, embedded tornado risk. So they may not be the strongest tornadoes, but we're certainly going to get tornado warnings from it as we go through the day. That was the reality back in Louisiana and Mississippi, and it seems to be, at least initially, the reality here with this tornado warning in Mobile. I'd say what we have now in Mobile, it is essentially wrapped out at this point. I don't see any rotation within this tornado warning, so they will probably let this expire. But it wouldn't surprise me if they decided to issue something else here over the next couple of minutes, because there still is rotation. I believe that's US 45 and US 43, those two highways that roll north. I mean, there's still rotation. Crayola, I believe, is how you say that. Smithtown, there's still rotation kind of within those two highways north of town, north of Pritchard. So they've gone ahead and gotten rid of the tornado warning, but it wouldn't surprise me if they continued on with a warning here For now, all we have is the severe thunderstorm warning. This is almost all encompassing. I mean, there could be tornadoes. So sometimes with these severe thunderstorm warnings, they add in a tag that a tornado may be possible. That's what we're seeing right now. So whether it's going to be the wind or the tornadoes, this is just a dangerous end of the line of storms. Stretches all the way from New Orleans to Mobile, Alabama. This is just a dangerous line of storms, and the peak of it right now passing through Mobile, and eventually it will be passing into Baldwin County. If you're just tuning in with us, had a tornado warning in Mobile. If you're watching from Northwest Florida and you're wondering, when is this going to start to impact me? There's already been some thunderstorms out ahead of it. You can see north of Pensacola. There's been some rain that's kind of moved in. On a need-to-know basis for when this line of storms pushes in, I'd say 1, 2 o'clock. It looks like Futurecast is lagging behind by about an hour, but I'd say 1 to 2 o'clock it begins. And then, like you see from Brooke, it persists all afternoon. It even persists into the evening. So starting at around 1, 2 o'clock for the western end of Northwest Florida to about midnight, it is going to be heavy rain, gusty winds, and a tornado risk all wrapped into one. So not the best afternoon, not the best evening to be out and about. We wouldn't fault you for staying at home and enjoying your Wednesday evening. Tornado watch officially goes till 5 o'clock. After that, the severe weather risk still continues, although it won't be quite as intense. What will take over at that point is this flood watch. Goes through tonight as well. Some potential radar, I should say. Futurecast has shown maybe up to 8 inches of rain. We even had some outputs closer to 10 on a very, very isolated level. So lots of heavy rainfall still to come too, even as our tornado risk wanes later into the evening. That's the large view right now from Brooke. Again, extends all the way towards the southern parishes there in Louisiana, all the way up into southern Alabama. So that's hundreds of miles with this line of storms. And the way that it's moving right now suggests lots of heavy rainfall. At the very least, the bottom of the barrel, this is going to be a big-time rainmaker. The wind, the tornado risk, it's right now through about 5 o'clock, late afternoon, early evening. Then after that, the heavy rainfall continues on. Haven't gotten an update from the Weather Service, so it looks like they're going to let this ride as is. I'm going to check back in on my computer to see if there's any additional rotation. There still is a little bit, Brooke, near Saraland, I-65, but it's pretty broad at this time, so
Yeah.
no active warnings at this point, and I don't see anything coming, at least immediately, from the Weather Service, but still rotations out there.
Yeah, and we're going to continue to monitor these storms, and we are going to go ahead and get you back to regular programming. We'll watch these storms. Severe thunderstorm warning is in effect, likely to continue to be extended throughout Northwest Florida as those storms move in. And we will hop back on here if we have any other tornado warnings or if any other information that's pressing. But we're going to go ahead and throw it back to regular programming now.